This presentation is for educational purposes only, and the opinions expressed are those of the presenter. All trades presented are not traded in a live account and should be considered hypothetical. Hello everybody and welcome to Hawkeye FX with your host Marcus Toombs on the 30th of October 2017, and this is my weekly review. Now if you remember my review from last week, we were looking for euro strength, US dollar strength and pound strength all through last week, and we were going to trade this against Aussie weakness as this turned down, the New Zealand weakness and Canadian weakness, and these all played out very nicely. Now you'll also remember that we were looking for the Japanese yen to turn back up here at some point, and this would be on a double shoulder as the yen had come from oversold territory down here. Now the big risk event of the week was the euro interest rate decision on Wednesday, and as you can see here, this was taken very negative by the forex markets, and the euro turned down swiftly at this point and has gone into a weakening cycle. So let's take a look at these in the 4-hour charts, and we'll start off by the US dollar. You can see here against the Canadian since Monday, we had significant gains, against the Aussie, significant gains through the week, and also significant gains against the New Zealand. The US dollar did well all last week and was in fact our strongest currency of the week. The pound, if we look at that since Monday, this also strengthened against the Canadian, the Aussie and the New Zealand throughout last week. The euro, if we go to that next, you can see this also did strengthen against the Canadian, Aussie and New Zealand through until that interest rate decision midweek. And then finally the Japanese yen, once this did turn up midweek, you can see then it did strengthen against the Canadian, the Aussie and the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so what's going to happen this week? We'll start off by looking at the calendar, which is extremely busy this week, and there is a huge amount of data that is market moving. We've got the Bank of Japan monetary policy statement and the outlook report on Tuesday. We've got CPI inflation data out of Europe. We've got GDP out of Canada on Tuesday, and then we've got employment change out of New Zealand also. Going into Wednesday, we've got the manufacturing PMI out of the UK, the Caxton manufacturing PMI out of China, and then we got ADP non-farm employment change from the US dollar, and also an FOMC statement and interest rate decision. Then Thursday, we've got German unemployment change. The big one here is the Bank of England interest rate decision here. Now they're expecting to increase the interest rate from 0.25 to 0.5. And if this doesn't happen, it will be a major shock to the market. Now, what will be more interesting here will be if this is just a one-off increase in the interest rate decision, or whether they signal that this is the start of a series of rate rises. And if that is to be the case, then the pound will rally significantly. And then on Friday, we've got a holiday in Japan. We've got retail sales out of Australia, services PMI, which is quite a big one for the pound, out of the UK, and then of course we have non-farm payrolls for the US dollar and employment change for Canada. Okay, so apart from volatility, what we're looking for this week, the fat man here on the daily time frame says that we are still going to have euro weakness through the week here, and we should expect to see some Aussie weakness continuing down here. Now you can see here the New Zealand has started to turn up, so we could well see some strength coming into the New Zealand dollar, and you can see here how low the Canadian dollar is here, so we would expect this to start turning up and coming into some strength. Now the US dollar, you can see here, is just starting to turn, and it looks like it will turn down now. This will be on a shoulder pattern, you can see here, so we would expect the US dollar to weaken. With the yen having just turned up, we can expect the yen now to strengthen through this week, and we would also expect the pound to continue to strengthen through to the interest rate decision on Thursday. Okay, as usual, I hope this helps, and I wish you all the best for your trading this very busy week.